Hey, welcome back to another edition of your morning workout talk. Brought to you by your one and only literary Pharaoh. Hey guys, it's Friday. Friday where people get fried. They get fried on Friday. It's hot in Texas. It's going to be high 90s, 96, 97. High humidity, which is going to annihilate that 97 degree that they speak of. That 97 is going to feel more like 110. The heat index is going to make it much hotter. Couple of facts that you have to consider: the wet bulb effect, which doesn't allow moisture to leave the stratosphere. So it keeps us clogged. It keeps our pores tight, which doesn't allow our pores to breathe, which gives its way to heat strokes. Some people pass out because your body's not being able to breathe. So you sweat quicker, you lose more salt. You get quickly dehydrated underneath that particular environmental state. So that's how it's going to be today. But yeah, today I had a good workout. Me and my wife did our thing, and again did our HIIT workout in the beginning. Today was biceps and back. Didn't really even do biceps. I think we did more shoulders, back. We didn't get to do biceps, but we had a good workout though. Got a good sweat in. On my watch, I have the little Fitbit watches, whatever, the smart watches that tracks your fitness progress. And I put it on. I didn't put it on a particular workout. I just put it on fitness because you have different options you can choose. You can choose, yoga. You can choose Pilates. You can choose running, jogging, weightlifting. But I just put on their fitness because I'm doing various exercises. So I can't really just every time go to my watch to say, okay, I'm doing this. So I just put it on fitness because fitness is general. And it calculated that I lost 500 calories. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. And usually on the days that I do yoga, it only says I lose 200 calories, but the way you lose your calories are different. That's why a lot of people say that it's not even about how much you sweat, because I can run for almost 30 minutes and I won't lose 300 calories. You understand? So when you weightlift and you add a little bit more resistance in your workouts, that tends to help you burn more calories, which is why people say adding weights to your workout burns fat. People have the misnomer, they possess the misnomer that if they run more, they'll lose fat. Running more just helps your heart rate, speeds up your blood flow. It helps your cardiovascular mechanisms. It helps in your breathing, and it does help you lose weight, but not as quickly as you would if you added weights to your workout and some sort of resistance. It's not running that does it. And I see a lot of people on ellipticals. You see a lot of people on Stairmaster's actually good because it burns your legs if you're using it properly. But this idea that running on a treadmill is going to help you lose weight, that doesn't help you lose weight. That's more of a warm-up. If you're going to do the treadmill as a warm-up before you get into your exercises. Remember, incorporate weights. Do things like burpees where you're using your body in a calisthenic type of way, when you're using your body as a form of resistance by pushing up against something. So burpees, you jump, you go down, you extend your legs, you jump. So you're using the ground as a force of resistance because you're pushing off the ground and you're jumping, which is why they call it burpees. You're using your entire body. Those type of workouts burn more fat, not running. Running is good. It's good to incorporate running. I'm not saying don't run at all. I'm a big advocate of mixing up your workouts. Never do the same thing too much because your body will plateau. and you won't see results anymore because your body's like, okay, been there, done that. What's next? If you continue to do the same thing, your body hits a wall. So you got to change it up, keep your body and your cells guessing. The more of a guessing game that you put towards your cells, the better response and the better product and the better outcomes you're going to see. Because you're consistently switching and you're putting your cells, you're putting your muscles through stress that they don't want to be put in. And so when you break down your muscles, that's how muscles grow. When you break down your cells, that's how your cells become smarter, and you put your cells in a state of survival. And when any body is put in a state of survival, all your senses are operating on 10, meaning that all your senses are operating at its apex, at its highest. So when you're doing that, you're going to see the residual impact on your cells and on your energy. But when you do the same workouts every day, your body gets used to it. It's like muscle memory. There's nothing to gain from it because your cells and everything in your body just knows this is what I'm doing. But when you're switching it up, it's forcing the internal mechanisms inside your body to kind of reach for something that they're used to. But if they're not used to anything, then they're forced to operate in a survival mode state, and in that survival mode state, that's what gives you the optimal results, because your body is consistently in survival mode. That's why people, if you looked online, there's guys who are muscular and they don't really eat a lot of calories. It's not the calories. Yeah, if you're trying to put on like excess muscle as a bodybuilder, which I don't advocate for because it puts a lot of pressure on your heart, you don't need to do that. But if you want to be fit, putting your body in survival mode is the best thing, which is why intermittent fasting, that's what the world calls it. I don't really think it's called intermittent fasting. That's just the way you're supposed to eat. You're not supposed to be eating throughout the damn day. You're supposed to have selective times you eat and then you shut it off. But we as Americans here, we just love to eat. And we wonder why we can't gain weight. Wonder why we can't lose weight, or why we can't be put in a healthy state in terms of our health. When doctors are looking at blood work and they're looking at all that stuff, that's why we have so many diseases, because we're eating too damn much. Eating too much actually ages you. The less you eat, the better, because your body's put into survival mode. Everything is working optimally to make sure that you're operating. But when you eat too much, then all the energy is used to breaking down chemical wise, all your energy is used to breaking down the caloric intake that you just took in. The enzymes start to work. You have an enzymatic response, and everything starts to break down the foods chemically. And then sometimes you get sleepy because certain foods that people eat are high in tryptophan, and tryptophan helps you sleep. So you get lazy, you get lethargic, you don't really have the energy to do anything. But when you put your body in survival mode, and it doesn't mean necessarily starving yourself, it just means eating smart. Don't eat stuffed. Fruits and vegetables won't make you that way. It's when you're eating this processed junk, and it puts you in that state when you're eating processed junk. So yeah, but anyway, just be mindful of that. Today's Friday. The mind is very tricky, right? Because like when it's Friday, we get this feeling of excitement, but I'm trying to be very intentional with reversing that type of psychology. And I don't want to feel excited on Friday. I want to feel excited every day. And I'm getting there slowly. There are no off days for me. You say, what do you mean there are no off days for you? Do you work every day, Literary Pharaoh? Literally I do. Yeah, I go to work, my slave work. I call it slave work because it's indentured servitude. You guys know how I feel about work. It's all slavery. But my slave work is Monday through Friday. But my real work is at home with my kids and my family. That's work. Then you got to factor in my workouts. That's work, because I'm working to sustain myself. That's part of my self-care. There's no such thing as not doing anything. Even when you think you're not doing anything, you're doing something. When people take these vacations and they tell themselves, I need to get away, I need a break from this, I need a break from that. Even when you take a break, you're doing something. You're never not doing something. That's the point that I'm making. So I'm always working. if you're not working at your slave job, you have to be working on yourself. Self-care. Self-care is a lifestyle. Just like if you wake up and brush your teeth and take a bath, you're taking care of yourself. So the industry has made millions of dollars off of promoting self-care in products and vacations and spas and massages. You don't need those things. I mean, it's great to have them every once in a while. I'm not saying that those things are bad, but don't think that you need to spend a lot of money to take care of yourself. You know, you could take care. You don't even need a gym membership. You could just take care of yourself by doing things for yourself, being intentional with your time. Being on Instagram all day and binge watching Netflix and looking at Instagram feeds, that's not self-care. That's just killing time, and that's allowing your brain to absorb so much blue light technology, so much blue light radiation, which isn't good for your brain and isn't good for you in terms of helping you rest. It keeps you radiated to a point where it actually helps stress to be absorbed in your psyche. It doesn't help you. This is why it's frowned upon to allow kids to watch TV before they go to sleep. I mean, the same thing that applies to kids, it also applies to adults. You can't, separate the two. They're one. Kids are a little bit more vulnerable because they lack the self-control. But adults, whatever isn't good for kids, it's not good for adults either. So we got to be more intentional with taking care of ourselves. So work you can never escape work. It's just a mindset. So when people are like, oh, it's Friday, they're excited. I'm like, what? I'm put it like this. I'm not saying that I don't want to be excited. I just don't want to put too much emphasis on Friday being a day that I'm going to be overly excited versus any other day. So in other words, I want to be even keel. If I'm going to have excitement for Friday, I want to have an excitement for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay, now if I don't want to be excited about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then I have to take a little bit of steam off of Friday. So I have to be even keel. Either way, either extremely happy throughout the whole week in that psychological mindset of like, oh, today's Friday thing, having that same mentality going into the other days of the week, or just treat Friday like it's any other day. And that's where I'm leaning to. I'm more leaning to that, the latter. I'm more leaning to just looking at Friday as any other day, because today I woke up early and went to the gym with my wife, got my little boy ready, took him to school, just dropped him off before I started making this video, because there would be no way in hell that I can make this video with him in the back, because he's whining and whining. He's whining because he wants to. He didn't want to leave the house. He wanted to stay home, and he wanted snacks, and I already gave him snacks. So you know how little kids are. One thing after another, they're whining for something. You wouldn't be able to hear him because he would be in the back making a lot of noise. So anyway, I dropped him off. My wife getting my 2 daughters ready for school. Okay, I have 3 kids, so that's work in itself. I'm gonna go to work, and when I get off, I'm gonna curbside my groceries. I have some groceries that I'm gonna buy because I'm gonna be making my cauliflower pizza this weekend. That's the plan. Right now, I don't feel like it, but we'll see. But that's the plan. We all know how plans work. We have plans, and sometimes life happens, and we end up averting those plans. But yeah, so then I have to do that. I have to come home. I have to prepare that stuff. That's work. But it's not work in the sense that I hate it. It's taking care of myself. Again, when I go to work for the oppressive type of work, the work that I'm going to now, it's just a means for me to make money so I can take care of myself and my family, right? So in a way, psychologically, I have to convince myself, make myself enjoy my work, even though internally I really hate going to work. I don't hate my work. I just hate the time that it takes away from the things that I'd rather do. So it's a time stealer. It's called time theft. A lot of times your bosses would tell you don't steal time. But it's all in reverse. It's not us stealing time from our bosses. It's these jobs stealing our time. We are the value. We are the virtuous ones. We are the ones that are sacred. We are the ones that should be taken care of. So when we're leaving our families or leaving our abode to go spend 40, 50, 60 hours in a building or in a place, I believe they're still in my or our time. So there's a difference there. They're still in our time. So I have to convince myself that I have to find little pockets of things that I can enjoy, so I can be enjoy. Enjoy, I do it so I can enjoy. So when I work out in the morning, when I eat right, those things are feeding my brain. Those things are making me feel good. So when I have my coworkers feeling lethargic and tired, and feeling this, I don't feel that way. My mindset is set on a positive meter, but it's not set on a positive meter that's unrealistic. So for instance, if I saw an accident right now on the road, I'm not saying that, I think positive. I'm going to be like, I have an accident. Yay! That's retarded. That doesn't make sense. People are going to look at you like you're psychotic if you do that. What I mean is that in my mundane acts, in my mundane actions, in my day-to-day actions, right? The things I do, I know that there's a purpose in what I'm doing. Okay? The purpose is not to please people. The purpose is just to get my money. Because that's the society we live in, right? Money is what allows you to do anything. That's my purpose. My purpose is to take care of myself. That's the joy. The joy is not going to work. The joy is not getting accolades from my coworkers. The joy is not getting the respect of my peers. I don't have the ego of where I have to feel respected at work. As long as I'm not doing anything that's a fireable offense and I'm not harming anybody, I don't care about being recognized at an oppressive place. I don't care about being recognized in a place where I feel like I'm an indentured servant. So that's not it. The joy I get is knowing that when I get paid, that money that I'm getting is going to be used to take care of myself and my family and take care of my mental health and take care of myself. That's it. So when I'm going to work, my mindset is not trying to fix the circumstances at work to make me happy, because you can never be happy by circumstances, because circumstances, they have an ebb and flow of where it's never consistent. So if you're basing your happiness upon circumstances, you're always going to be like this. And it's not that I'm seeking happiness, because that's a childish term. I even hate using that. I'm just wanting to have balance, meaning that I'm never operating off of an emotional impulse. I'm not extremely high or extremely low. I'm just even keel with a stoic sort of theme that I'm wearing across my aura. That's what I want to be like. But I think that's what I am. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I believe that I do operate that way. And I'm not going to work seeking joy, because that's the mistake a lot of us make. We're angry, we hate our jobs, but if you hate your job, find something that you love doing and use your job as a means to continue to do what you love to do. Me, I love to work out, I love to eat right, I love to take care of myself. So the only way I can do that, the eating, you need money to buy the food. To take care of yourself, you need your money to buy the products to take care of yourself. So going to my job, I'm not seeking joy from the job that I'm going to. The joy I'm getting is that eventually, in due time, when I get paid, I'm going to be able to do the things I love. So you have to reverse your mindset. You have to reverse your mindset. And so I don't look at Friday like it's Friday. No, I don't look at it that way. It's just another day to me. And a lot of people, I hate when people ask me questions like this when I get to work. Well, you got planned for the weekend? Just nothing. Same thing I always do. Every day is a weekend to me. All right? I don't have, just because it's a weekend. I mean, maybe because we're off from that work, but I'm still working. People have this idea that just because it's the weekend, you have nothing else to do. I would argue and say the weekends I'm more busy than I am doing work, because at least at work, my time is centered. My time is focused on one thing. So they're robbing me, keeping me sort of incarcerated and, locked down to their system. But when I'm off of their system, I'm now free to do things that I wasn't able to do while I was on lockdown. So yes, I am comparing a job to lockdown. You are on lockdown. You can't do what the hell you want once you clock in at any job you go to. You have procedures. You can't do what you want. Now, some jobs you do have flexibility to do certain things that you want to do, but the most of Americans, once you go into work, you're locked in. They own you. They own you for that time. That's called indentured servitude, another form of slavery. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me to accept, to know that that's the reality. You don't have to believe me, but that's what it is. You may not believe that the sky is blue, but that's what it is. You may not want to consider yourself a slave, but that's what you are. You may not want to see yourself as an indentured servant, but that's what you are, because you have debt. You're working to pay off bills. That's indentured servitude. That's another form of slavery. You cannot not go to work. You cannot just say, you don't have the option to say, I quit working. Because once you quit working, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose your well-being. You're going to lose your household. You're going to lose your car. Car gets repoed. Your house gets taken. You'll be homeless. So that's slavery, where you're working to live. We're oftentimes, we're held captive to the extreme form of slavery, where you're in chains and getting whipped. Yeah, that's an extreme form of slavery, because those type of slaves had to work to survive. But we're doing the same thing. The only difference is our master isn't clothing us and feeding us; we're feeding ourselves. But yeah, it's pretty pathetic. But yeah. So I try to look at. I don't worship Fridays like most people do. Oh, it's Friday. But why? Why you're so excited? If you're a person that's always working, it's just another day. But all work isn't the same to me. Certain work that you do is enjoyable because you're doing it to better yourself. Like, for instance, going to the gym, yeah, it's a form of work, but it feels good. Going to this kind of work, I hate it because it's taking my time. I could be at home doing so much things right now. But I'm spending over 30-something minutes on the road. Then I'm going to spend another 8 hours at work. Then when I get off of work, because of the traffic, I'm going to spend about another hour on the road. So your day is gone. Like, your whole day is robbed. And that's the system. The system is made to put you in a place where you're not thinking. There's a reason why the controllers, instituted a system where it keeps us from thinking, because we become dangerous as a collective, as a conglomerate of humans coming together with that collective consciousness. When we start to think, we can improve and become better. But they only make us think of what they want us to think, so they infuse our minds with politics, divisive means of politics, divisive mechanisms. Politicians use the Democratic Republican rhetoric to split people in two, so we can never really come together, because the few times we have to think, we're being provided what to think, because we have lost the ability to think, so we don't know how to think, because so many people are working, and so many people are emotionally invested, thinking that certain candidates, if they get into office, their policies, which is all bullshit, but their policies is going to somehow alleviate the stresses of your life. It's going to lower your taxes. The middle class is going to have more jobs. Like, they've been repeating the same shit forever, and you guys haven't got it yet. It's very mind-boggling that people don't see the trick. Politics is politricks. It's a divisive means of psychological warfare. Not only does it divide, it corrupts the mind. It keeps you distracted. It really does. Because once you get emotionally invested, then you're seeking respite. You're seeking somehow, some way for somebody or something to come and save the day. If not Jesus, well, hopefully God will help your candidate get elected. Infantile, simpletons, childlike minds, fairy tale for adults. That's what it is. We're so stupid. We can't even see ourselves as the gods that we are. We're always looking outside of us, which is why we're going to continue to be in this state. I don't see improvement. I see certain individuals who are being elevated. I see certain people who are elevating and ascending and living to their higher selves, and they can see the bullshit a mile away. But most of you guys don't see it because you're in it. You're part of the system. And the unfortunate thing about it is that many people are guardians of the system. You know, they guard the system. They're beholden to it. They believe it. They believe the pharmaceutical industries. They believe the medicines. They believe the injections. They believe the inoculations. They believe all that stuff. They believe that all that stuff is supposed to cure. They believe everything that they're told. They do as they're told. They don't ask questions because they can't ask questions because they don't have the ability to ask questions. They don't have knowledge. We don't have knowledge. You can't even ask questions. All you can do is go off of what they tell you and ask questions that are guided by them. They already have the answers to give you to keep you manipulated. But when you know more, you can ask questions that confronts the status quo. We can't do that. We don't know how to do that. That's a skill, and that comes with time. And you need time to think. I told you guys I've always been a thinker. Even when I'm busy, I'm always thinking. Imagine if I wasn't busy. Imagine if I wasn't stuck in this vehicle, driving. If I was at home, meditating, thinking, continuing to read my books. If my kids were at school and I could just sit at home and just do me. Come on, man. Again, the famous quote by the Rothschilds said this. I don't know if it was the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers. I think it was the Rockefellers. Said, we don't want a thinking class. We want a working class. Yeah. And this is what they have. They have a working class. A handful of people, folks, control everything. From the gas industry, pharmaceutical industry, the drug industry, the drug wars, the guns, banking systems, countries. Countries are owned by banks. If you don't believe me, watch this documentary called Zeitgeist 2. Look it up on YouTube. It's called Zeitgeist. They do a phenomenal job of breaking it down for you. Even a layman can understand how we're being duped. But some of you guys don't care because Jesus is coming back and he's going to save the day. The same people who gave you Jesus are the same people that's giving you this corrupt system. They give you a false sense of hope. You are your own hope, and that's the sad part about it. We're waiting for a savior. Well, all the while, every time you look in the mirror, the savior is right there. You have to get up off your ass and save yourself. Learn something. Once you start to see how evil the system is, you start to think to yourself like, whoa, what am I doing? These things that I've given myself to, these things that I've believed in, I literally have to unlearn everything. That's what happened to me in my mid-30s. I had to unlearn everything. Literally, everything that I was taught in school, everything I was taught about religion, I had to literally unlearn everything. It was damn near traumatic because I'm like, damn, every time that I thought that something was a lie, it was a lie. And every time I would peel back the curtain, I would find out more lies. I'm like, damn, when does it end? It never ends. It never ends. Foods that were touted as being healthy were dangerous. Things that they said would heal you would kill you. Things that said that to do caused you stress, which is a silent killer. The educational system that they promote that's supposed to educate you is to indoctrinate you. Oh man, it's crazy. We live in an insane asylum. I've told my brother and sister that. We live it. Don't get blinded by all the materials that we see. You may see nice cars, nice clothes. Those are just distractions. If you look at the infrastructure of the system and you examine the blueprint of it and you look at its core foundational construct and the purpose for which it was put here, you will see that it's, number one, it's very evil, but it's subtly evil, because something that's overtly evil could be easily seen and you can evade it. But it's something that's subtly evil and has a consistency with fervor and a stream that's hitting you like an avalanche daily, you sort of give in and you sort of accept the evil for what it is. And out of that evil, you start to think that the evil is good. And when people try to give you good, you're going to deem their good as evil. You know, when the Bible talks about people will say good is evil and evil is good, well, that's what's happening now. But it's not because the Bible said it. It's because it's what's going on in here. The Bible, if you break it down, allegorically is a book about the internal faculties of the human mind. Even the Christ awakening is a Christos. It's a hormone that goes from the spine that goes up to your brain, between the third, fourth ventricle of your brain. It's called the awakening. It's not one being that's going to come back. The Christ awakening is an awakening of the consciousness, and you being awake. Many people are having it. It's not going to all happen at once. When you wake up, that's the Christ awakening. That's the awakening. That's called Christos, the awakening. But you guys are looking in the sky for somebody, a being, to come and save the day. But you guys are the same ones that don't believe in aliens, but you believe in some being coming out of another dimension to come save the day. That's an alien, folks. Extraterrestrial. They're outside of our terrain. I've said this a million times. You laugh at people who talk about aliens, but yet you believe in an alien. You believe that your God is the God you guys believe in is an alien. They're not from this dimension. Okay? They're not from this realm. That's what you call an alien. That's what you call an extraterrestrial. Extra means outside of. Exo. Terrain means land. Terrain means land. So I'm outside of your land. That's an extraterrestrial. But you guys are so brainwashed by Hollywood that when you hear extraterrestrials, you think of it some weird looking creature with antennas. No. An extraterrestrial can look just like you and me. Because we were created by these extraterrestrials. We were created in their image. Hence the term, let us make man in our image. So, yeah, Friday's just another day. You know, we work every day. It just depends what kind of work you're doing. If I'm working to make the European system richer, then I hate that type of work. But somehow, some way, I have to psych my mind out to know that, you know what, this is just a means to an end. I'm here. Yes, my time is being taken away from me, but I understand how this works. I'm gonna have to accept it. I don't have a choice. But how do I make this, psychologically palatable for my mind to actually absorb it? Well, the only way I can make it so psychologically palatable is to say, you know what? Let me just come here, work, get my paycheck, so I can do the things that I freaking want to do. That's what it's for. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Well, again, guys, thank you for indulging me. I'm almost at my slave job. And I will talk to you guys later. Leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think. All right. Peace.